Hello and welcome to my analyze from the World 2022, and let's see how DRX versus T1 went. I guess everyone watched the game, how it went and why it went like this. Okay, let's get towards in game. We don't need to talk about draft much. We just will focus on just macro stuff. See, I don't like the new trophy design. Okay, Heimer Sivir, Sylas, and Sylas Vigo. Like on 1-on-1, Faker can get prior here, but Sylas can trade some HP to get prior 2v2, prior with jungle wins. Top lane is like a little bit more Yon side because of lower cooldowns for the priors. Okay, Heimerdinger gets push control, both jungle starting bot side, pathing towards top side. So mid lane prior is really important here. If the matchup is like matched like this, like the jungle path is matched, then you need to go mid lane prior. Listen, I have the better clear because red buff Raptors Gromp is better top lane mid lane gang. Vigo have the slower route, so listen have a kinda advantage here. T1 is kinda advantage here. And the advantage of Vigo is getting a full clear. So listen need to play here aggressive early on. Faker needs to get prior, you get top lane prior, so nothing new. Heimerdingers even get the bush control. Bush control means we have push on bot lane. Seika or Sika, or I don't know how to say his name, can get some HP rates here. So it's really important that Vigo doing a transition gank mid lane to get prior on Scuttle top lane control. So that's why they're doing it. Faker used the flash for it. And now we can argue like why didn't Faker like know it? It was really simple to know, but more left side because you have bot left side would be better, and then running into towards jungle can be a better solution. Seeker training a lot of HP here to maintain like some pressure. Owner is like shadow mid lane. Seeker seeing it. Vigo Aatrox adapting to it. Because Aatrox have first move here, Zika have the first moves, Sylas, and nothing special here. Vigo is trying to defend the camps, Aatrox can't defend it, so Vigo needs to smite it. But so nothing much will happen. Vigo will go like contest a little bit here. Listen, get the top lane scuttle, Faker pushing in. So Vigo is about to lose both scuttles here, and Listen is like still hard pressure an enemy because you have a ward on the red buff. That's pretty cool. As a Sylas mid lane fight, Listen scuttle. Bot lane can push, bot lane push defending. The bot lane from T1 should push bot lane and defending the scuttle. So this would be a really cool solution for T1. So pushing hard bot lane is a good option. Dika, like Sylas is like hard contesting, Faker needs to push there, and they just need let it fall. Would be better option for getting double scuttle into Crux, into Raptors, into Recall as Listen. And Vigo is playing really good here, abusing Faker's mispositioning because Faker wants to maintain his pressure, and Vigo needs to control. If you want to control the map, mid lane price is one of the most important things to think of. So going mid lane is really cool and just punishing enemies. Vigo shadowing bot lane, like Lee and Vigo shadowing bot lane. Steven needs to go base. Steven push out. Steven gets punished. Varus will push. Invade opportunities is not open. Listen gets a kill. Listen doing Raptor mid lane shadow. And after that, they should look for a recall. So recalling, already recalling, see war space. Varus holding the wave bot lane. So this is the best play. You shouldn't push bot lane, because if you would push bot lane and your jungle is like pathing from your way, it's like not good. Not pushing hard bot lane. The slow push perfect CS bot lane is a good option. If your weak side and your jungle is not on your side, even on the opposite side, should maintain your own territory with maintaining the push. Your side perfect CS, so the wave is slow as possible. CV clearing wave, hard push bot lane, hard push mid lane. Opportunities of invading can be open. Raptor invade can be open next. Gumayushi should hold the wave there. And now we see some actions here. If we get about the timer like 7, like if the timer is like about 7, like 6:37, it's most of the time like setuping the correct play for the herald. Resetting before 6:30 is the most important thing because you want to be really, really strong for the herald. DRX doing the herald because first move Vigo, listen cross map. But the problem is here Renata moving, Varus moving. So T1 needs just to stall this herald. If they stall the herald, T1 is hard winning because Varus have first move. Yeah, they're hard winning here. So next play is invading. Invading top side, Varus push mid. Varus goes back bot lane. RZ keeps attention. Listen denied herald, like T1 denied herald, so nobody got herald. Varus back bot lane, Zivie can rotate, Asli push mid lane, Heimerdinger goes for Renata recall warding, and we just maintaining the map and just stabilize it again after like a big play. So Renata goes for Heimerdinger, goes for bot, Heimerdinger goes for a catch, cut rotation catch, Renata goes bot lane, Varus goes bot lane, Zivie goes mid, Zivie Heimer mid means Silas can push mid, RZ getting pushed in, Viego needs to shadow mid lane, Disin needs to shadow mid lane, so maintaining the free, push, like getting the push here, and it's like really important to like play the map. DRX playing much better map currently because they're playing bot lane prior into mid lane. Now the turn is on T1 side. They push bot lane. They overloading top lane. Overloading means we just get one person more on top side. That's always like getting a numbers advantage. And Shadow top lane, recalling top lane, Viego goes top side, Heimerdinger recall warding, Renata should control bot side driver, and we just see this. Controlling bot lane, Varus push bot lane, Varus should, can do the weak side camp on. It's not a weak side camp, but can do crack. But the most important thing is maintain pressure. Maintain pressure means hard pushing bot lane, siege bot lane, warding bot side. As they hard pushing mid lane, Viego goes mid lane cover, Lee goes mid lane cover, controlling bot side river, bot side jungle, clear ward, and preparing break. So the most important thing here is like maintain pressure, keep enemy in lane. Zivie have no mana, so keeping her in lane is like really important to just maintain the pressure here. And really, really important is if you have like champions like Azir or Varus, always control the choke points. This is a choke point you should control because what we saw is Zivie right side, Heimerdinger right side. So this is the choke point you should control. So Azir should be on position, Varus should be in position to like fire and control the choke point. So fights is happening here, not important, whatever. One got the Drake, second Drake. So the ocean map is active. Seekers bot lane, Zivie mid lane. Invading top side can be our option here. Overloading bot lane is the option for DRX. I don't like it because you're losing out mid lane and you don't want to lose mid lane. So maintain mid lane prior because center control is one of the most important things in strategy games. So maintain mid lane control. Recapture Xylis mid lane. Xylis push mid lane. Azir could even TP if Varus wouldn't go mid lane. So Varus going mid lane. So Azir don't need to TP. Maintain priors. Contest priors. Heimerdinger top lane. Renata bot side. So T1 getting some wards on bot side. DRX want to play for Herald. So I'm overloading top lane into top lane invade into controlling herald. T1 is pushing mid lane, wants to control rivers, rivers clearing base, DRX overloading top lane into top side river into warding, top side, Zivie shadow top side, and nothing much is happening. They just like playing for wards. Like if you view this game like as a spectator and like a player, like not a player, like a spectator of the game, then you would see nothing is happening, but much happened for DRX because they got a ton of vision on top side. So they can't contest it now because of the vision. But T1 was much faster here. So the job of DRX is now either way you get mid lane T1. Okay. Both teams want to get T1 turrets. Okay, that's really, really important. As an immobile ADC like Varus, you want to get enemy mid lane T1 and don't lose your own T1. And now we can just see we have to defend as DRX the Herald, and T1 needs to place a Herald. One charge on mid lane would be really cool with the Herald. So Yon is like maintaining and contesting. Faker is hard pressure bot lane. I like how Faker plays the mid game here. It's really, really good because he just pressures and jungle baits enemy jungler to bot side. And if Vigo overloads bot lane, T1 can place Hera mid lane. So what is Faker's doing here is really good, because even if we flash away, we get the T1 mid lane turret. So Vigo, Arthur needs to keep pressure on bot lane. So if Vigo goes bot lane, we just place Hera mid lane. That's a mistake from DRX, because they get like in this zone, like in this kind of zone, where you can pressure them to the bot side and then just place Hera for this tower. One charge for this tower, the tower would be destroyed. So always be careful of that. So on here, Asia wants to like pressure. DRX shouldn't do like most players would say, hey, DRX got a free Drake here. That's right. They would get a free Drake here, but they would lose really hard on mid lane T1, T2. So going for the Drake would be a mistake, because they can do this, like T1 can do this, boom, 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 right? And that's like hard losing for DRX. That's not worth for Drake. So DRX need to defend mid lane, Herald mid lane, defend mid lane, Herald. So T1 placing this charge, they need to go for this Drake, and then going to bot lane turret, and then controlling the map. Now DRX play is like getting some pressure on enemy. T1 don't want to fight, so they playing really careful here. And how you can play? Oh, this is like a really hard mistake. It's like, it's called cutting rotation. This means enemy have like a rotation from mid to bot, and you have like this kind of spot where you can cut the enemy, right? So be careful of that. If the enemy wants to go bot lane, you can cut the rotation and just catch him. So cut the rotations are really good macro play here. Silas is dead, Yun is pushing, boom boom boom, nothing much is happening, just like overloading bot lane, pushing bot lane, clearing bot lane, Asdi pushing mid lane. And why Ars is like keeping pushing mid lane is to stabilize the map. It's really important that if the enemy can do like breaks or whatever, you need to stabilize the map with the pressure of going for the mid lane prior. Mid lane prior means invading top side, means invading bot side, creating vision, Faker's hard forcing here. That's not important to watch like team fighting, just like whatever. Because macro wise, it's not worth. It's like cool to watch as like a spectator, but not cool to analyze. So we skip that part. And what T1 is trying here is like, they create a numbers advantage here, and they just want to create resources, because carry have 3 wards, and they just want to what a little bit, right? Creating some visions. We can even create this vision, so we have like to try like this line of vision. We can create this, like this, like this, like warding, recon, Renato goes space, but much currently happening. As we pushing mid lane, right? We can skip. Okay, that game is not like, I don't know. This game doesn't feel like really high macro. It's more like some place of moments. Like they just see a play and they just force a play. They winning objectives. We can see the setup here. We can't see really good the setup because of the bot lane fight here. But what we saw here was like Azi was pushing mid lane, Varus is moving, Renata is moving, Lissin is moving, Dune is pushing bot lane, have tempo, recall in top lane. So why T1 gets the turret is like just simple because of the numbers advantage after the 2 kills. Dune can push bot lane, somebody have to defend bot lane, so they can shift to mid lane, push mid lane, creating numbers advantage on top lane, S5. That's the thing why T1 got the Baron here, because they pushed bot lane beforehand. Playing fast is really important, because your bot lane pressure is not forever. It's not like Wakanda. But like this is a cool play from DRX. I really like it. Overloading top lane to regain mid lane prior. Because if you kill this Yoden, you can rotate to mid lane and just getting mid lane prior. If you don't kill this Yoden, T1 gets mid lane control and just attacking this 2 turrets, and you don't want it. And why you say why we want the T2 turret? The T2 turret bot lane is really good for Baron because you have longer rotation to move. This means if you have this rotation, if this is away, yeah, like if this is up, this looks like this. If it's a way it looks like this. We can rotate to Baron, and the same goes for top lane. We can rotate if this tower is away to Drake. So if they want to play for Drakes, like the Ocean Drake, they can get for T2 upside. That's like what I would do as T1. Like I would push mid lane, go for top lane, go T2 top lane, go to recall. Somebody have to defend on the Rex side, and then just go bot. Ah, that's awesome. A crowd. Yeah, this is like exactly what T1 is doing. I analyzed like a ton of T1 games, so it's like T1 plays that they love to play like this, like going top lane and for the Drake and going bot lane for the Baron. Is like a LCK thing, T1 thing. I guess LCK learned a lot from T1 Spring. I don't know. I guess it was spring. Yeah, I learned a lot from the spring split. I guess a lot of LEC teams too. The spring split from T1 and the summer from Gen.G was like just okay, overloading top lane. Not working. To fight. Like I see no way that T1 is losing this. Like literally no way. The only way T1 can lose this is if they just get like patched in their own jungle or cutting rotation catches or overloading, getting overloaded. But this shouldn't happen. Like real talk, this should never ever happen. Creating like going for bot lane vision, bot lane walls, bot lane push, top lane defend. They're actually to overload one side, but they can't overload because T1 just needs to group S5 for bot lane, and that's it. Then they're actually to force a fight, and I think they would lose it. I just watched it the first time because it's way better to analyze like first time games because it's a little bit harder. Right? I don't know. Like this game should 100% T1 win. It's like no, I don't see any way that T1 controlling jungle. Like maybe someone is like thinking, or some players thinking why they bought like open pink boards. It's just easy if you want to control much space as possible. Create like this kind of pink boards because they create a lot of stone, and you want to control as much stone as possible. So getting like don't let enemy any vision, and just shove in waves, controlling enemy jungle is the best play. And now, normally, like generally, you play like 3/4 jungle, and this what T1 is trying is like they play like an EDG playstyle 4/4. This means they want to get every jungle resource from the enemy and just like creating a ton of pressure in enemy zone. So pressure, like keeping enemy away from their jungle, is the best play. This is a really good game to watch from T1 side, but really poor game from DRX. They got like good moments of cut rotation overloads, but they don't know how to get the mid lane prio. They have like a really rough time to regain the mid lane prio. I would do it from cutting rotation, or like overloading is the best play, or like catching some enemy junglers while they're shadowing is a play. Like there is a really much good plays there. T1 getting Baron, T1 going bot lane, and then pushing bot lane. The DRX will like pull the trigger. So what this means is like they need to catch this or this or this. The best play to catch is like going top lane, because if he is catched, they can't help. If he is catched, they can help, right? So catching top side is the best play here. So overloading top lane, and we can. Oh, they don't go top lane. They can't hold the bot lane thing. They can't never hold it. It's not possible to hold it. Long term, they just will lose because they will lose top lane now. Faker's pressuring mid lane, and Faker can rotate from mid lane to bot lane. Now getting bot lane turret, bot lane to bot lane in the top lane in the, and just keeping enemy away from the wave. Z will have a rough time, but getting a ton of farming. He can boost his stats. Getting for Ocean, and now it should be over. Now play for four players, one lane, one player, one lane. So playing mid lane, top lane is the better call because top lane is like developed, bot lane is like taking some time. So top lane, you play top lane. If CV is clearing top lane, you play mid lane into bot lane. So playing top lane first is here, really good. And now you just play mid lane into bot lane, like I said, if CV is clearing top side. And now DRX needs to force, right? It's really like they don't troll by forcing, they have to force, or they will lose against a Asdia Varus on turrets. They're like really burning turrets now. Look, the turrets is like melting. Clear and pressure, and now DRX will force, and they can just focus the Nexus and GG. Okay, this was a cool game from T1, really poor game from DRX. What DRX should do differently, in my opinion, should be like catching enemy on like rotation. This means like if Renata goes ward, catch Renata on warding, catching enemy support on warding is really good idea. Regain mid lane prior means top lane stabilize, like going top lane or bot lane, overloading, pushing bot lane, shadow bot lane, then just catching enemies, and then regain mid lane prior. The T1, but T1 did really good. Was here always maintain mid lane prior, pressure enemy jungle, like pushing waves and just warding his jungle. And I really like the play how T1 did it. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.